The notification lit up my phone at 11:47 p.m. A charge for $8,500 on our joint account. The description read Prestige Jewelers. My boyfriend of 4 years, Nathan, was finally proposing. I sat up in bed, heart racing, trying not to wake him beside me. This was it. 4 years of building a life together, of shared dreams and whispered promises. I fell back against the pillow, smiling in the dark, but something nagged at me. Why would he use our joint account? He knew I'd see it immediately, unless he wanted me to see it, unless this was part of the surprise. The next morning, Nathan left early for a work meeting. I kissed him goodbye, pretending I knew nothing. My phone buzzed the moment his car pulled away. It was my best friend, Claire. "Babe, you need to see this," her text read. She sent a screenshot from Instagram. My stomach dropped. The photo showed Nathan at a fancy restaurant, kneeling beside a woman I'd never seen before. A diamond ring sparkled on her finger. The caption read, "She said yes, forever with my queen, Vanessa." Posted 2 hours ago. My hands started shaking. I stared at the photo until my vision blurred. The woman, Vanessa, looked radiant in a red dress I'd never seen Nathan admire. Her smile was wide, genuine, completely unaware that the ring on her finger was bought with money I'd helped earn. Our joint account. The one we'd opened when we moved in together. The one I'd been contributing to faithfully for 4 years while building my graphic design business. The room spun. I sat down hard on our couch, the same couch we'd picked out together at IKEA, laughing about whose turn it was to use the Allen wrench. Claire called immediately. "Are you okay? Please tell me this is some kind of joke." Her voice cracked with worry. I couldn't speak. My throat felt tight, like someone was squeezing it. "I'm coming over," she said. I finally found my voice. "No, don't, I need to think." I hung up and opened our banking app. The transaction stared back at me. $8,500 to Prestige Jewelers processed yesterday at 3:15 p.m. I scrolled through recent charges. Dinner at Marco's Italian, $340. Flowers from Belle Blooms, $200. Hotel reservation at the Sterling, $890, all in the past week. All using our money, my money. My business had taken off 6 months ago. I'd landed 3 major clients, and suddenly I was making more than Nathan's job at the marketing firm. We'd celebrated together, or so I thought. He'd suggested opening a joint account for our future. "We're a team," he'd said, holding my hands across our kitchen table. "What's mine is yours, what's yours is mine." I'd been so happy, so stupidly trusting. I'd transferred half my earnings every month. For our future, I'd thought. For the home we'd buy. For the wedding we'd plan. Not for him to romance another woman. I called Prestige Jewelers. A cheerful woman answered. "Hello, this is Amanda. How can I help you?" I steadied my voice. "Hi, I'm checking on a purchase made yesterday. Transaction number 847,392. Papers rustled. "Ah, yes, the engagement ring. Beautiful choice. Is there a problem with the sizing?" My heart pounded. "No, I just wanted to confirm the details. My boyfriend wanted to surprise me." I hated lying, but I needed information. Of course, the 2-carat diamond solitaire in platinum. He was so excited, said his girlfriend would love it. The words hit like punches. His girlfriend. Which one of us did he mean? I thanked Amanda and hung up. My hands were steady now. The shock was wearing off, replaced by something colder, something sharper. I opened Instagram and found Vanessa's profile. Public account, thankfully. I scrolled through her photos. She was a yoga instructor at a studio downtown. Posted daily selfies with inspirational quotes. Lots of photos with Nathan going back 8 months. 8 months. While I'd been working late, building my business, contributing to our joint future, he'd been building a separate life. The comments on her engagement post made me sick. "Finally," one friend wrote, "you two are perfect together." I needed proof of everything. I took screenshots of every photo, every comment, every date stamp. Then I checked our joint account history going back a year. The pattern was obvious once I looked for it. Nathan had been spending more and more, contributing less and less. 3 months ago, he'd stopped depositing his paychecks entirely. I'd been so busy with work I hadn't noticed. Or maybe I'd noticed but convinced myself it was temporary, that he was stressed, that he'd contribute again soon. I'd been funding his entire life. Our rent, utilities, groceries, his car payment, everything, while he saved for another woman's ring. Claire showed up anyway, carrying coffee and pastries she knew I wouldn't eat. She sat beside me on the couch, looking at my laptop screen filled with transaction records. "What are you going to do?" she asked quietly. I'd been asking myself the same question. The old me would have confronted him immediately, would have cried and screamed and demanded explanations. But something had shifted. The woman who'd built a successful business from nothing wasn't going to fall apart. She was going to be smart, strategic. "I'm going to make sure he regrets every dollar he spent," I said. Claire's eyes widened. "I'm listening." First, I needed to secure my money. I called our bank and explained there was suspicious activity on our joint account. The representative was sympathetic. "Since both names are on the account, I can't freeze it entirely, but I can require both signatures for any transaction over $500. Perfect. I also opened a new personal account and transferred my business income there. Going forward, Nathan wouldn't see a cent. Then I called my lawyer cousin, Troy. "I need to know my legal options," I told him. He listened to everything, his silence growing heavier. "Forward me all the evidence," he finally said. "Screenshots, transaction records, everything. We'll figure this out." Nathan came home that evening acting completely normal. "Hey, babe," he kissed my cheek. "How was your day?" I smiled, though it felt like my face might crack. "Good. Finished the Henderson project early. How was your meeting?" He launched into some story about a difficult client, lies flowing easily from his mouth. I nodded at appropriate moments, watching him carefully. He showed no guilt, no nervousness. Just the same Nathan I'd loved for 4 years, except now I saw through the mask. He was a stranger wearing my boyfriend's face. After dinner, he went to shower. I checked his phone. Password changed. Of course it was. Over the next week, I played the perfect girlfriend. I smiled, cooked dinner, asked about his day. Meanwhile, I quietly dismantled our shared life. I contacted our landlord and explained I'd be moving out when our lease ended in 6 weeks. I arranged for a new apartment across town, something Nathan knew nothing about. I transferred our joint utilities to his name only, effective next month. Every night, while he slept, I packed small boxes of my belongings and moved them to storage. Books, photos, important documents, things he wouldn't notice missing. I was erasing myself from his life the way he'd erased his loyalty to me. Vanessa posted wedding planning updates. "Looking at venues," with photos of elegant ballrooms. "Can't wait to marry my best friend," with pictures of her and Nathan holding paint swatches. Each post felt like a slap, but I'd stopped flinching. Instead, I documented everything. Troy said it would help if I decided to pursue legal action. Claire asked if I was okay. "I'm better than okay," I told her. "I'm free, I just don't know it yet." She hugged me tight. "He's going to regret losing you." I pulled back and smiled. "Oh, I'm going to make sure of that." 2 weeks after discovering the proposal, I received a message from an unknown number. "Hi, this is Vanessa. I think we need to talk." My blood ran cold. I stared at the message for a full minute before responding. "About what?" 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. "About Nathan, about money. Can we meet coffee tomorrow at 2 p.m., the cafe on Morrison Street?" My mind raced. How did she get my number? What did she know? "I'll be there," I typed back. That night, I barely slept. What could she possibly want to say? Did Nathan tell her about me? Did she even know I existed? I arrived at the cafe 15 minutes early and chose a table where I could see the door. Vanessa walked in at exactly 2 p.m., looking less polished than in her Instagram photos. Her eyes were red like she'd been crying. She spotted me immediately. Apparently Nathan had shown her photos. "Thank you for coming," she said, sitting down. Her hands shook slightly around her coffee cup. "I found something yesterday. Bank statements Nathan left in his car. Our joint account. Except it's not ours. It's yours." She pulled out folded papers. My name was all over them. "He told me he'd saved for months for my ring, that he'd been planning this for so long." Vanessa's voice cracked. "But these statements show the money came from an account with your name. Who are you? Why is my fiancé sharing money with another woman?" I took a slow breath. "I'm his girlfriend of 4 years. We live together. That's not just any joint account. It's our joint account. I've been contributing to it for years." The color drained from her face. "That's impossible. We've been together for 8 months. He told me he was single when we met." We stared at each other across the table, 2 women realizing we'd been played by the same man. "He bought your ring with my money," I said quietly. "Everything he's done for you, I paid for." Vanessa looked like she might be sick. "The dinners, the hotel stays, all of it." I nodded. "I have transaction records for everything." I showed her my phone, scrolling through months of charges. Her face went from pale to flushed with anger. "That lying piece of garbage," she whispered. "I thought he was successful. He talked about his career, his savings, his plans, all lies." I felt unexpected sympathy for her. She'd been fooled too, just differently. "What do you want to do?" I asked. She looked up and I saw my own anger reflected in her eyes. "I want him to pay, both literally and figuratively. Will you help me?" We spent the next hour planning. Vanessa would continue the engagement charade while we gathered more evidence. She'd document every expense, every promise, every lie. I'd continue tracking the financial trail. In 3 weeks, Nathan's company was hosting a major event, a celebration for their biggest client deal of the year. Nathan had been bragging about it for months. Vanessa was his plus one, or so he thought. "What if we both show up?" Vanessa suggested, a fierce smile crossing her face. "What if we confront him there in front of everyone?" I thought about it. Public humiliation. The same thing he'd essentially done to me, just spread across 2 women and 8 months of lies. The next 3 weeks were the strangest of my life. I continued living with Nathan, acting normal while planning his downfall. Vanessa kept posting happy couple photos, each one a carefully staged lie. We texted constantly, comparing notes, sharing screenshots, building an airtight case. Troy reviewed everything and confirmed I could sue Nathan for misuse of joint funds. "You have a strong case for financial fraud," he said. "He used money you contributed for personal expenses that didn't benefit you. That's actionable." The week before the company event, I packed the last of my belongings. My new apartment was ready. I just needed to time the exit perfectly. The night of the event arrived. I wore the red dress Nathan had always loved, the one he'd said made me look stunning. Vanessa wore the same dress, purchased that afternoon after I'd told her about it. We'd planned this detail carefully. When I walked into the hotel ballroom, Nathan was by the bar, laughing with colleagues. He hadn't seen me yet. I waited, heart pounding, as Vanessa entered from the opposite door. She spotted him at the same moment he spotted her. His face showed confusion. She wasn't supposed to be here yet. Then he turned and saw me. The color drained from his face. His eyes darted between us, panic clear in every movement. Vanessa and I walked toward him from opposite sides of the room, twin red dresses cutting through the crowd. People noticed, conversations stopping as they watched. Nathan's boss, Mr. Fletcher, was standing nearby. Perfect. We stopped in front of Nathan simultaneously. "Hello, Nathan," I said calmly. "Hello, darling," Vanessa added, her voice dripping with false sweetness. Nathan's mouth opened and closed like a fish. "What? How? You too?" He couldn't even form a sentence. "Surprised?" I asked. "You shouldn't be. You introduced us in a way, through your bank statements." Vanessa held up her engagement ring. "Beautiful, isn't it? Though I recently learned where the money came from. Want to tell everyone, or should we?" Mr. Fletcher moved closer, frowning. "Nathan, what's going on here?" Nathan tried to salvage the situation. "This is a misunderstanding. These women are confused." I pulled out my phone, holding it up so the screen was visible. "These are transaction records from our joint account, the account I've been contributing to for 4 years. See this charge? $8,500 to Prestige Jewelers. That's the ring on her finger." I pointed to Vanessa. "And these charges. Romantic dinners, hotel stays, flowers, all for her, all using my money." Vanessa stepped forward. "He told me he was single, that he'd saved for months to buy my ring. Turns out he was living with his girlfriend and using her money to date me." The crowd had gathered now, people pulling out phones to record. Nathan's career was crumbling in real time. "Mr. Fletcher's face was stone. "Nathan, is this true?" Nathan stammered, trying to explain, but there was no explanation that would work. I continued, my voice steady and clear. "I've filed a civil suit for financial fraud. My lawyer has all the evidence. Every dollar you spent on her I'm taking back, plus damages." Vanessa slipped the ring off her finger and dropped it into Nathan's drink. "We're done. Both of us are done. Enjoy explaining this to everyone." We turned in perfect synchronization, our matching red dresses swirling, and walked out together. Behind us, Nathan called our names, but neither of us looked back. Outside the hotel, Vanessa and I stood in the cool night air, adrenaline making us shaky. "That was incredible," she breathed. "Did you see his face?" I laughed, a real laugh for the first time in weeks. "Absolutely priceless." We hugged, an unlikely friendship formed through shared betrayal. "Thank you for believing me," I said. "Thank you for having the receipts," she countered. We exchanged final goodbyes, promising to stay in touch. Then I drove to my new apartment, the one Nathan knew nothing about. My belongings were unpacked, my business thriving, my bank account secure. The lawsuit would take months, but Troy was confident. Nathan had stolen from me, and he'd pay it back. 3 months later, the settlement came through. Nathan repaid every dollar he'd spent from our joint account, plus additional damages for fraud. His company had fired him quietly to avoid scandal. Vanessa had moved on, dating a kind yoga student who treated her with genuine respect. As for me, I stood in my apartment, looking at the framed photo Claire had given me. It showed Vanessa and me in our matching red dresses, walking away from the hotel. Underneath, Claire had written, "The moment you took your power back." She was right. Nathan had tried to use my money to build his dream life. Instead, he'd funded my freedom. Sometimes the best revenge isn't anger. It's walking away with your head high and your bank account full. If someone you trusted ever used your money to betray you, you're not alone. The hardest part isn't the money lost, it's rebuilding trust in yourself. But here's what I learned. When someone shows you who they really are through their bank statements, believe them. To anyone going through something similar, document everything, protect your finances, and remember that walking away isn't giving up. It's choosing yourself. You deserve someone who invests in you, not someone who treats you like an ATM while building a life with someone else. Have you ever discovered financial betrayal in a relationship? What would you have done in my situation? Drop your stories in the comments below. And if this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more real-life stories about finding strength when life tests you. Remember, your money, your choice, your freedom.